New in the last 5 minutes. In the last 15 minutes. In the last hour, KSRelief Center Supervisor meets with Yemeni local administration minister. Yemeni rebels ban UN agencies, aid groups. Report. In the last 2 hours, Omani man set for fourth relief trip to Yemen UN taps British mediator as new Yemen envoy. Diplomats. After Saleh, Yemen is descending into anarchy. Photojournalist killed in Yemen rocket attack. In the last 4 hours, several Saudi mercenaries killed in Yemeni Army Attacks UN. Aid coordinator for war-torn Yemen steps down. ICRC oversees repatriation of 27 Yemeni minors. Yemeni rebels ban UN agencies, aid groups. The plight of being pregnant in today's Yemen Saudi-led coalition. Airstrike kills 8 civilians, dozens killed in clashes and Saudi airstrikes across Saada in Yemen. In the last 6 hours, dozens killed in attacks on Yemen rebel heartland. Saudi Arabia supports Yemen with oil derivatives. Saudi-led coalition air raids target citizens' car in Saada. In the last 8 hours, 15 Yemeni civilians killed in Saudi airstrikes in Saada. Saudi Arabia and UAE discuss Yemen with US and UK earlier today. Withdrawal from Yemen. Saudi Arabia to build all-foreign mercenary army. Yemeni army kill numbers of Saudi mercenaries in Jawf Fresh Saudi strikes kill 15 Yemeni civilians in Saada Malta at a major finals. The minnow master with big plans. Tillerson meets with British. Saudi, UAE ministers on Yemen yesterday. Record 22.2 million need humanitarian assistance in Yemen. Yemen humanitarian operation explained at Saudi meeting. 9 killed in Saudi-led airstrike in Yemen. Residents. 9 killed in Saudi-led airstrike in Yemen. Residents. Humanitarian response plan in Yemen launches for year 2018. Saudi-led Arab coalition launches a major humanitarian operation in Yemen. Yemen. Photojournalist killed in a rocket attack. Al-Jaber and Al-Malki explain aspects of humanitarian operations in Yemen. Jazan port to take delivery of goods for Yemen. Yemen humanitarian operations to create job opportunities. KSRelief provides shelter aid for the displaced. In Marib, Germany halts weapons sales to Saudi Arabia over war in Yemen. At least 9 civilians killed in new Saudi airstrike on Saudi. Yemeni ambassador to Turkey meets with advisor to Turkish president. Surviving Yemen's war in a rubbish dump. KSRelief distributes 7,500 food baskets in Misrik Directorate. Yemen. 7 issues that will shape the humanitarian agenda in 2018. Saudi airstrike kills more Yemeni children. Insider exclusive interview with Congressman Ro Khanna on U.S. interventionism. Saudi Arabia endorses $1 United States $1.50 BLN aid package to Yemen. Houthi attack on Yemen's Tariz base kills 11. The world's worst humanitarian crisis by the numbers. Malaysian armed forces to provide humanitarian assistance in Yemen. Death of a leader. Where next for Yemen's GPC after murder of Saleh. Russia welcomes Arab coalition's humanitarian measures in Yemen. Malaysia welcomes reopening of Yemen ports to ease humanitarian crisis. FM takes part in Saudi-led coalition meeting on Yemen. Germany halts arms exports to Saudis. Others at war in Yemen. Opinion. 7 issues that will shape the humanitarian agenda in 2018 as Yemeni rial is in free fall. Worst may be yet to come. In the last 7 days, Saudi-led coalition announces $1.5 billion in new aid for war-torn Yemen. Coalition to give $1.5 billion in aid for Yemen. UN Yemen envoy to step down next month. Top UN mediator for Yemen steps down. Arab coalition allocates $1.50 BLN for Yemen humanitarian operations. Saudi Arabia, UAE contribute USD BLN to humanitarian aid in Yemen. Saudi-led coalition plans to give $1.5 billion in Yemen aid. Expand port capacity. Yemen suffers deadly strikes as Russia calls for dialogue to resolve crisis. Coalition to give $1.5 billion in Yemen aid. Expand port capacity. Presidency director meets United Nations resident representative. Arab coalition stresses humanitarian aid to Yemen.